Now, let's get to the educational segment, which is earnings season. Thus far, numbers have been pretty solid. Solid because they're beating super conservative estimates. But more important, one of the biggest trends that I'm seeing is many of these companies are now offering guidance. And that's being rewarded, right? Because that creates certainty. If they're giving you guidance, you could actually model how much they're going to spend in R&D, on marketing. You had no clue. And the market went up with these companies saying, here's our numbers, and we have no idea what's going to happen next quarter, maybe next 6 months. And people didn't care because you just threw $6.5 trillion. The Fed threw $6.5 trillion at the market. Didn't really care too much. Help prop up a lot of these names, but that's one of the trends I'm seeing. You look at one sector, which is large cap banks, most reported less than stellar results. And JP Morgan was okay. And Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Bank of America reported weaker than expected numbers, which was mostly due to low interest rates, which is interesting because interest rates are going to stay low for a very, very long time. But also larger than expected provisions to account for potential credit losses. These companies aren't buying back their stock. They're not raising their dividend. They have low interest rates. That interest rate, low interest rate, it's important. I mean, higher interest rates is very, very good for the banks. Their net interest margin increases and they make a lot of money. So not too keen on the large banks so far. Goldman Sachs, on the other hand, blew out the numbers. They're an investment bank. They don't rely on those low interest rates for profits. And Goldman Sachs numbers shouldn't surprise you if you follow my newsletters. I mean, it's not a traditional bank. They thrive in environments where there's huge volatility and tons of liquidity. Two factors that are going to be around for a very, very long time. So we had Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. These are names that are cheap based on price to book, PE, and will grow significantly faster than the overall market, at least over the next 12 months, more likely over the next 24 to 36 months. So get used to these blowout earnings and sales beats. I think both of those names are cheap. I really like Goldman Sachs. But more important, earnings season, the next 3 weeks. Lots of companies reporting. So today after the bell, United Airlines. Numbers are going to be terrible. They better report terrible numbers because they're asking for more money from the government. That's what Delta just did. Numbers were bad. They're not going to report great numbers. They say, we might have to lay off. We might have to do this. They're going to, play it so they're going to get money from the government. Taiwan Semiconductor. Largest manufacturing chips in the world. The most fab facilities. They're going to report tomorrow. Definitely listen to that call. Lots been going on with China. Big speech made by the president. And, a lot of chip companies, it could impact. There's a lot of news going out. You see an animosity between China and U.S. right now. But Taiwan Semi, and they manufacture chips for Apple and dozens of major companies. Definitely listen in to that call. Very important. You'll get a good indication of what's going on, not just in China and all of Asia, Europe, there, every place. JB Hunt, trucking. That's on Friday. Are we seeing a pickup in demand, which is a good indication of the economy rebounding? We hear that the economy is rebounding. It's rebounding. We should be able to see through trucking companies. We've seen numbers from FedEx that blew out incredible numbers. UPS. Transportation companies. Pay attention. On Monday, Halliburton. This is a call I want to listen to since there are a lot of bulls coming out of the woodwork on energy. We had Chris McIntosh on. You say how bullish he is on energy. I'm not too bullish on energy, but I think there's other sectors that will benefit well ahead of energy if the economy does open back up and gets busier. But these are one of the largest oil service companies, Halliburton, along with Schlumberger. But I want to hear what they say about demand in the U.S. and abroad, and especially what they believe on fracking. If they're worried that a Democratic win could result in considerably less fracking over the next 4 years, which is a massive profit generator for these guys. I'm not being political here. We just know that what was said 3-4 months ago by the Democrats running is that we don't like fracking, we don't want it. And now they just said, no, just on federal. And then you have the left saying, no, fracking's really bad. I want to see where this goes. I don't know if they're going to ban all fracking. I don't think that they would do that. I hope they don't because they're going to lose millions, if not tens of millions of jobs. But Halliburton should have a good indication. I want to hear what they say. IBM's on Monday, October 19th. I want to learn more about their restructuring they just announced, spin out its fast-growing divisions like cloud, data analytics, social. That should be exciting. Lockheed Martin, Tuesday, October 20, one of the large defense companies. I mean, defense companies have been pulling back. Are they worried about spending being impacted based on who wins the election? If so, this is going to impact R&D for the entire sector. I want to hear what they're saying, what their beliefs are. Because a lot of these companies are going to be asked by analysts about, what happens with a Democratic win? What happens with a Republican win? Are you going to spend money differently? And some of these companies, I would say most of them are going to say, nope, business as usual, this is what we're going to do. But there's certain industries that are going to be significantly impacted. Significantly impacted. Major tech companies, you're looking at October 29th. Pretty sure all of them are reporting October 29th as of now. Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook. You also have Netflix on the 20th, Microsoft on the 27th. These are the biggest companies, trillion-dollar market caps for some of these guys. I want to see their numbers, especially Apple with the new iPhone coming out. Where's demand? Where's their guidance going to be? They better offer guidance. They should be offering guidance this quarter. Amazon, how did Prime Day do? Facebook, political ads, what's going on? Banning them, not banning them? It's a big source of income for them. The recent reports by Democrats and the Republicans saying that, they want the Justice Department to regulate these guys and go after them, which is interesting because all these companies donate, tens of millions of dollars to both parties. Most of them going to Democrats now, but still, it's amazing how, I don't know if it's helping too much in terms of getting these guys on your side or bribing them, right, which is lobbying. Disney, a little bit later, it's about early November, but I'm very curious to see their numbers, which their streaming numbers are going to be up a lot. They're going to highlight this. But what are the numbers for Mulan? We didn't hear that, right? $30 to subscribe, something different. Could it change the industry? We didn't hear anything about it, so I'm not expecting much. How does this company plan to generate billions of dollars? How are they going to generate the billions of dollars it needs to spend on new content, given that every other division within Disney is struggling mightily, and the one that's doing good is the biggest money-losing division by far. And they just said we're going to go all in, which means you're going to lose a lot more money going forward, at least over the next 4 or 5 years, if they ever become profitable with that division, which is going to lead to numbers coming down probably. But I want to hear how they're going to generate the billions it needs on that new content, because you're looking at those divisions that are struggling mightily. They're going to continue to struggle at least over the next 6 to 9 months. They're going back to 80% capacity at any park soon. I can see people on Broadway, going to Times Square to get tickets. Movies, people going to theaters. It's not happening anytime soon. Not to the point where it gets to 80% plus capacity. You have Cummins, truck engine manufacturer, October 27. GE, it's important to listen to GE call. Not for GE as an investor. They have operations all over the world. It's one of the best conference calls you could listen to. They'll give you access to numerous industries that they're in. Zoom's on December 3rd. That's a little bit later, so curious to see their growth numbers. I said Zoom growth numbers. I've never seen growth numbers like that over pretty much a 3 to 6 month period in any company ever. It's just unbelievable. ExxonMobil later this month. Diamondback Energy. Let's hear what these guys have to say. Again, I want to learn more about fracking and how they feel about the oil market. Are they pulling back? Are they adding rigs? Humana Healthcare, November 3rd. Triton International is an interesting company, October 23rd, one of the largest container rental leasing companies. We've seen exports surging out of China. Is that filtering down to the U.S.? Kind of is. We've seen ports all over the country reporting record demand. Again, another company that can give us a great indication or information about the current economic environment in America and also abroad. That's what you want to do during earnings season. If you're a true investor, I'm telling you, you want to listen to conference calls. You don't have the time to listen to them. You can download the transcripts. It's easy. But pay close attention to this. It'll lead to numerous ideas. Even if you don't like Triton, if you listen to it, you're going to understand where the growth is coming from, which economies are doing good. It could lead you to buy ETF in China, in wherever. But it's important. You get an amazing, amazing outlook on what's going on around the world listening to certain companies, a lot of those companies I just mentioned. So please pay close attention. You're going to hear me mention that in podcasts. You're going to hear me mention it in newsletters. But earnings season should be very, very interesting over the next 3 weeks, hoping that most of these companies provide guidance. And let's see how they finish, because most of them are going to be beating current estimates or street estimates because they're very low right now. So it will be interesting heading into November 3rd election. A lot going on, but definitely follow these companies, or at least try to read the transcripts of these calls that are all going to happen pretty much in the next 2